Imagine you are sinking. Below the jagged shifting sheets of the Antarctic ice, the world turns a bruised, crushing blue. The sun is a ghost here, a fading memory lost beneath meters of frozen salt water. The temperature is 30 degrees below the freezing point of fresh water. At this depth, the cold isn't just a sensation, it is a predator. It slows the pulse. It turns blood into slush. In this liquid tomb, every rule of biology you have ever learned dictates that you should be dead. Your heart should have seized. Your cells should have shattered. And yet, drifting through the dark, a shadow moves. It is a fish, but not like any you have ever seen. It is pale, translucent, nearly invisible, but its greatest secret isn't its color. It is what's missing inside. If you were to cut it, it would not bleed red. It would bleed a liquid as clear as the water surrounding it. This creature has no red blood cells. It carries no hemoglobin. It defies the very definition of vertebrate life. In a world of ice, it has found a way to breathe without the one thing every other backboned animal on Earth requires to survive. How does a ghost thrive in a graveyard? Welcome to Animal Lover Planet. The Southern Ocean is a place of beautiful, terrifying extremes. It is the most isolated marine environment on the planet, a vast wilderness of water encircling the white continent. Here, the Antarctic circumpolar current acts as a barrier, a wall of rushing water that locks the cold in and keeps the rest of the world out. For 30 million years, this water evolved has been freezing. In these sub-zero depths, the physics of life change. At temperatures this low, fluids become viscous. Moving blood through a body becomes like trying to pump molasses through a straw. For most fish, the cold is a death sentence. Their blood would literally crystallize, jagged shards of ice tearing through their veins from the inside out. And yet, the abyss is not empty. Evolution, when pushed to the brink of extinction, does not just adapt, it reimagines. In the darkness of the Antarctic shelf, the pressures of the cold have forced life to take a radical divergent path. To survive here, you cannot just be tough. You must be a biological miracle. You must become something the world has never seen before. Meet the Channictheidae, the crocodile icefish. To look at one is to gaze upon a specter. Their skin is white, mottled with faint, ghostly grays. Their scales are gone, replaced by a thin, parchment-like skin. Their snouts are long and toothy, giving them the appearance of an aquatic dragon carved from ice. But it is what lies beneath the skin that haunts the scientists who first discovered them in the early 20th century. When biologist Ditlev Rusted first hauled an icefish onto his deck in 1928, he was horrified to find that its gills were not the vibrant, meaty red of a healthy fish. They were creamy white, pale as a corpse. For decades, the scientific community was baffled. Hemoglobin is the iron-rich protein that gives blood its red color. Its job is sacred. It captures oxygen from the lungs or gills and carries it to the rest of the body. Without it, an animal suffocates. It is the fundamental engine of the vertebrate world. But the icefish has abandoned the engine entirely. It is the only known vertebrate on the planet to lack red blood cells and hemoglobin in its adulthood. Its blood is a clear, watery plasma. By all accounts of medical science, this fish should be a mathematical impossibility. It is living a high-energy life in a low-energy world, carrying out the complex dance of predation and survival while running on an empty tank. How do you fuel a body when you've thrown away the fuel lines? The icefish is a masterclass in radical engineering. It has not just survived the loss of hemoglobin. It has redesigned its entire anatomy to compensate for it. First, it solved the problem of freezing. If you cannot keep the water out, you must change the water within. The icefish's body produces specialized glycoprotein antifreeze. These molecules seek out tiny microscopic ice crystals the moment they form in the blood and coat them, preventing them from growing or joining together. The icefish is, quite literally, chemically incapable of freezing solid. But the real magic is in the oxygen. Cold water holds more dissolved oxygen than warm water. In the Antarctic, the sea is saturated with it. The icefish has learned to stop relying on a carrier and start relying on the environment. Because it lacks scales, it can absorb oxygen directly through its skin, pulling the life-giving gas straight from the ocean into its capillaries. However, passive absorption isn't enough to power a predator. To move its thin, watery blood, the icefish has developed a heart that is a marvel of biological excess. Proportionally, The icefish's heart is massive, up to 5 times larger than that of fish of a similar size. It is a powerhouse, a heavy-duty pump designed to move massive volumes of blood at low pressure. It doesn't move the blood fast. It moves it in bulk. The icefish has a blood volume 2 to 4 times higher than its red-blooded cousins. Imagine a fire department trying to put out a blaze. While other fish use a small hose with high-pressure chemicals, the icefish simply opens a dam. It floods its system with so much clear plasma that the sheer volume of liquid ensures enough oxygen reaches its brain and muscles. It is an inefficient system made efficient by the sheer abundance of the Antarctic. The icefish is a creature that has traded quality for quantity, thriving on a tide of transparent life. Why would nature allow this? Why lose the hemoglobin at all? In the brutal cold, every choice has a cost. Red blood cells make blood thick. In the sub-zero Antarctic, thick blood requires immense energy to pump. By discarding its red blood cells, the icefish has thinned its blood, reducing the friction in its veins. It has turned its circulatory system into a low-resistance highway. The energy it saves by not building red blood cells and not fighting the viscosity of thick blood can be spent elsewhere, on growth, on ambush hunting, on surviving where others vanish. This is the beauty of evolution. It is not always about adding features. Sometimes it is about what you can afford to lose. The icefish has stripped itself down to the bare essentials, becoming a minimalist of the deep. But this extreme specialization comes with a terrifying vulnerability. The icefish is a prisoner of the cold. Its entire biological architecture, the massive heart, the skin absorption, the thin blood, is hardwired for temperatures near freezing. In water just a few degrees warmer, the oxygen levels drop, and the icefish's heart can no longer keep up. It cannot adapt to the heat. It is a finely tuned instrument that can only play one note. In a world where the oceans are warming, the very adaptations that made them the kings of the ice are becoming a gilded cage. The Antarctic icefish is more than just a biological curiosity. It is a window into the limits of life itself. By studying these ghostly survivors, scientists are uncovering new ways to treat blood disorders in humans. We are learning how to preserve organs for transplant by mimicking their natural antifreeze. We are discovering that the way things have always been is not the only way they can be. The icefish teaches us that life is relentless. It is an artist that works with whatever materials it is given, even if those materials are darkness, crushing pressure, and lethal cold. It reminds us that even in the most inhospitable corners of our planet, nature finds a way to breathe. But as the ice shelves retreat and the Southern Ocean begins to warm, the story of the icefish enters a new, uncertain chapter. They have survived for millions of years in a world of glass. Now, they face a challenge their ancestors never prepared for, a world that is losing its chill. The ghost of the deep is a testament to the ingenuity of the natural world. It is a reminder that we share this planet with wonders that defy explanation, creatures that live in the dark, breathe through their skin, and bleed as clear as rain. We look at the icefish and see an anomaly, but perhaps we should see a mirror reflecting the staggering resilience of life. It shows us that even when the light fades and the blood runs thin, existence persists. It finds a gap. It finds a way. Nature does not follow a script. It breaks the rules, rewrites the laws, and thrives in the impossible. The Antarctic icefish remains down there, in the quiet, freezing dark, a transparent guardian of a world we are only beginning to understand. If you were moved by the story of this incredible survivor, help us share the wonders of the natural world. Subscribe to Animal Lover Planet for more unbelievable true animal stories. Keep wondering. Keep exploring. Because the most amazing stories are often the ones hidden in the dark.